Hello, my name is Jackie Tetzlaff, and this is my mastery project on stages of reading development. I'm going to jump right in now. So for pre-A, for pre-A readers know fewer than 40 upper and lowercase letters. These children often lack concepts of print, such as left to right tracking and the difference between a letter and a word. So during a pre-A lesson or when you're working with a pre-A student, the teacher really wants to focus on having students during pre-A lessons, students learn the following foundational skills. So this is what teachers are working on: letter names and sounds, letter formation, phonological awareness, including hearing syllables, rhymes, and initial consonant blend sounds. And lastly, they're going to work on concepts of print and oral language. I will slide down here a little bit. And for this assessment, they're going to work on assessing the letter and sound assessment. Is the only assessment that you really need for planning a pre-A lesson. Over here, I have a letter sound check sheet that one would work on for this. In this assessment, the teacher, would tell you which letters and sounds students know and which ones they would need to continue to work on. So this one's a pretty straightforward. I just point to the letters and students would say the sound. So that one's pretty simple. We're going to go back to this letter and sounds checklist in other stages of development in this next one as we go to emergent. In the emergent lesson framework helps young students build a foundation with letters and sounds, strategic actions, phonemic awareness, phonics, sight words, word solving, comprehension, and writing. So as you can see here, these are working on a lot of different skills, which is really good. And emergent readers are at level A. They are able to write their name without a model, so that's good. They identify at least 40 uppercase and lowercase letters by name. They demonstrate left to right dictation, and they understand enough English to follow simple directions and know at least 8 sounds. Okay, so we're stepping in the right direction. We're not there yet, but we're getting closer. Things that teachers would want to work on with these students while they're in the emergent stage would be one-to-one. Match one-to-one. What they say matches what they point to as they read. That's something to work on. Control left to right dictationality across several lines of print, making sure they're just on track there. Using meaning, structure, and initial letters to figure out unknown words. Form letters correctly. Hear and record consonant, vowel, consonant sounds in sequence. Monitor for meaning. Reread a sentence to correct errors or confirm predictions. That is something really big that I'm working on with my students right now. Read and write about 30 sight words. Discuss a story with teacher prompting. Write a simple message about the book with teacher scaffolding, so with a little bit of teacher help. So assessments for this emergent readers, and I pulled this right out of the book because they had it really simply here, letters and sounds. So as I just showed you in this slide, we're going to use that same checklist just to make sure students can understand what sounds go with letters. Okay, so we're going to do that. We're also going to use a running record. As you can see, I have included an example of a running record down here. It's kind of small. I'll zoom in a little bit. Here we are. Now it's a little blurry. So in a running record, students are going to read and you're going to mark. You're going to mark different errors they make different corrections, different things like that. This is such an amazing tool to use. Running records are something that really we should make sure we're always using. as you can see over in the EMSV column. So those are different things to mark for if it's a meaning or a different things like that. And then you total up your errors or your corrections, and that will really help you understand where your reader is at. So that's really good. And then we're going to go to a dictated sentence. And I actually have that over here. So here's an example of something like that. I would read a sentence like Blake plans to sleep in class. And this would be in about a group of 4 or 5. And with this, I would encourage students to stretch out each word as they write the sound they hear in the sentence. So this is really going to work on that skill of stretching things out and being able to write that. And then I'm going to bounce back here. Sight words that students can write. So these would be from the book is just an example of recommended sight words for A to C, because that is where these emergent readers are at. So these would be just giving these words and seeing how they do with them. So that would be another really good skill to work on. And lastly, you're going to summarize all 4 of the results in this what we call assessment summary chart. So you're going to fill this all out. Okay, and it looks kind of intimidating, but it's really not. It's very spelled out for you. You just input the results that you get. Okay. Now I'll go to early reader. So reading levels, this would be from D to I. And for this, students know letters and sounds, but they're still learning to apply these skills. So you, as the teacher, would be working on having them apply those skills and different strategies to get them to that point. They can read and write about 20 to 30 sight words, so we're making progress. However, they still struggle with fluency, so that's another skill that you'd want to continue to work on. Let's see, they are able to retell what they have read, reading and writing about 60 to 80 sight words. Okay, and for the assessment, you're going to do reading conferences, which are my favorite thing to do with students as I've been in this 2nd grade classroom. They are, I just love the being able to work with students independently. In this, you're going to want to listen to students read, but also this should also include running records, oral retelling, and comprehension conversation. So this really uses a lot, and it enables you to really know the student better. So I love that part of it. And then spelling assessment. In this, it's not quite as effective as the reading conference. The book stated that, so you really want to make sure you hit that reading conference. But the spelling assessment is good to learn about the child's understanding of words, sounds, and letters. So that is nice to remember. We're going to go to transitional. This happens at a practice. This is about the J through P level. You can be found in any grades, but usually as 2nd graders are in transitional, and that's the classroom that I'm in right now. So I get to see a lot of this while I'm doing my guided reading. They have a large bank of sight words. They're learning to decode big words, increase fluency, but again, that's something as the teacher you're continuing to work on. You're continuing to work on expanding vocabulary and improving comprehension. Most need study activities that target complex vowels and inflection endings. All need guided reading lessons that target their need and teach them strategies for comprehending longer, more complex text. So you're working on that as a teacher. Transitional readers need to work on decoding, fluency, and retelling. So that's you're working on that a lot as the teacher. Your instructions instruction with fluent readers should focus on expanding vocabulary strategies and improving deeper understanding beyond basic retelling. So those are really what you should be working on as the teacher. Assessments that you would want to use for transitional staged readers would be word knowledge inventory. In this, it's an assessment carefully designed. It's a carefully designed list of words for students to know how to spell. Really helps teachers understand if they're understanding some of those phonics skills that they should know at this level. Okay, and again, you're going to want to do reading conferences, and with this, you're going to see that it's going to include running records, retelling, comprehension, and comprehension conversation. So those are all really important, and they tell you so many things. I really like those because like it says over in this picture, it just tells you instructional text level range, word solving actions, fluency, retelling, vocabulary, comprehension strategies. So that's really nice. And here is a picture of word knowledge inventory. So those are some words. You see, I can zoom in a little bit closer. Grab, sled, chin. And those are all working on different skills that are important for them. And lastly, we have the fluent readers, and these are where we want all our students to be eventually. We focus on vocabulary and deeper comprehension. I have a group of 3 in my 2nd grade classroom of really, really high flyers that are grade accelerated, and they are fluent readers, and it's really fun to have those conversations with them because they really do. They are really constantly going deeper during our guided reading time. As readers gain autonomy with word recognition and develop efficacy and flexibility word-solving strategies, they move into the fluent stage. When they are making an error, which is rare, they use meaning and parts of words to quickly self-correct. Although fluent readers are proficient decoders, they may need to learn. Okay, for fluent readers, teaching points target higher level comprehension strategies. So this is what the teacher is going to be working on, including identifying main ideas and important details, making inferences, summarizing, drawing conclusion, analyzing relationships between characters and ideas, evaluating the author's purpose. And that's actually what the unit that we're working on right now in my classroom is about. Why did the author write this? What was the purpose? And for this, a word knowledge inventory and an individual reading conference with a comprehension interview will give you enough information to begin guided reading. So those are the 2 things you're going to want to work on. In this conference, you're going to, like I said before, you're going to listen to the students read. You're going to include a running record, oral retelling, and comprehension conversation. And you can see here that I have a word knowledge inventory, a picture of that. So these words are just going to be a little bit more complex than what the other word inventories were. So thank you so much for listening to my presentation. Thank you. Bye.